Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times, and today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And today I have a massive jam-packed week for you guys with 7 albums and 1 EP. So I'm going to fire through these as quickly as I possibly can so I don't turn into a rambling idiot. Okay, so first up on today's list, I have Kreator with Crushers of the World. And this is the 16th studio album from the German thrash metal legends. Now, this album has split opinion quite a lot from what I've seen. A lot of people think that this isn't a very good album because it is melodically rich and there's not enough thrash in it. And then other people love the fact that it is melodically rich. I personally really enjoyed this album. Yes, it is very heavy on the melody and the catchy hooks, but it is an incredibly enticing and addictive record. There's something very triumphant about it. It has a lot of catchy hooks in it, but it also still has that high energy, aggressive thrash metal. They do certainly focus on speed and intensity throughout this album. In fact, they have relied on a similar formula that they've used for the last couple of albums. But it's not without its really cool stompy stomp moments either. Now, I wrote a full album review breaking down this album track by track in a lot more detail over on Moshville Times, so if you want to read my album review, check out the description box below because it will be down there. And not only will you be helping me out as a writer, but you'll also be helping out the Moshville team. This album is 10 tracks and 44 minutes long, and like I said, it focuses on high intensity, speed, and aggressive thrash metal with a lot of catchy hooks and rich melodics. So if you are a fan of the likes of Destruction, Sodom, and Exodus, this one is definitely for you. But I personally absolutely loved this album. I like my thrash metal to be on the darker, heavier side, but I also appreciate a lot of really cool catchy hooks in it too. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Carrion Vael with Slay Utterly, and this is the 5th studio album from the technical melodic death metal band from Indiana in the US. Now, this certainly falls on the harsher side of the melodic death metal subgenre. This is incredibly brutal. It has a lot of technical aspects, thrash metal elements, and I picked up a little bit of a neoclassical edge on it when it came to the guitar arrangements as well. I absolutely loved this. This is catchy, it's intense, it's fiery, the breakdowns are insane, and the sheer aggression and energy behind this album is incredibly addictive. Now, lyrically speaking, they take inspiration from serial killers, so you can expect this to be incredibly dark, intense, and savage, both in sound and in subject material. The blast beats are insane, the guitars are spectacular in this album, and it's primarily guttural growls which are incredibly powerful, but on occasion you do have those soaring cleans that come in that create a really dynamic, multi-layered sound. Not to mention, the bass lines in this are incredibly heavy, and that really contributes to that chugging, intense, heavy sound. This album is 8 tracks long altogether at about the 42-minute mark, and you do have the odd moment of reprieve in this with more melodically rich elements and acoustic guitar elements, but that doesn't last very long. This album certainly focuses on aggression, brutality, and sheer intensity. So if you are a fan of the likes of the Black Dahlia Murder, Allegiant, or Inferi, this one is definitely for you, but this is intense, incredibly crushing, and I absolutely loved every single second of this. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up I have Mariana's Rest with the Bereaved, and this is the 5th studio album from the melodic death doom metal band from Finland. This album is beautiful. It combines haunting, melancholic, striking doom metal with the crushing heaviness of death metal, with a lot of really cool synth-laden melodic moments throughout. This is a fully immersive experience. It's brooding, it's densely atmospheric, but it is so unbelievably heavy at the same time. Thematically, this album deals with the aftermath of loss and the various different steps in the grief process, so you can expect this to be a very heavy album in terms of subject material and the actual sound itself. This album is bleak, moody, and incredibly catchy with a lot of infectious hooks in it. It is primarily guttural growls, which are very powerful and impassioned, but you do have the clean vocals that come in that are very emotive, and on occasion you do have spoken word elements. So there's a lot of different vocal layers in this album that really adds to the atmosphere. Now this album is 10 tracks long at about 57 minutes altogether, so this is a sprawling soundscape of beautiful, melancholic doom metal, but with the crushing energy and ferocity of death metal. So if you are a fan of the likes of Anathema, Swallow the Sun or Insomnium, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this out. I absolutely love this. I've had this on repeat over the weekend. Cannot get enough of it. Do not sleep on this one. Okay, so next up I have Funeral Home with Your Funeral, and this is the debut album from the death and roll band from Finland. This is so unbelievably heavy but so ridiculously catchy at the same time. This merges old school death metal with a lot of rock and roll catchy elements, and it is incredibly heavy on the groove. We all know by now that I love my old school death metal with a lot of infectious groove in it, and you don't get much better than this one. Massive riffs, this is an absolute riff fest of an album, thunderous blast beats, chugging bass lines, and those guttural growls are so demonic and bassy. This grabs your attention and it holds it throughout the entire album. Now, even though there's a lot of really cool mid-tempo stompy stomp moments and groove elements, and when I say groove, I mean put heavy emphasis on the groove, this is ridiculously catchy. It is incredibly heavy. Don't think you're going to be getting off light with this album, because this is going to completely annihilate you, as well as it being groovy at the same time. Now this album is 9 tracks long and 37 minutes altogether roughly. It's dark, it's intense, it's aggressive, but it's also a lot of fun to listen to. So if you are a fan of the likes of Entombed, Carnal Savagery or Scorching Tomb, this one is definitely for you, but I absolutely loved this. I found it highly addictive to listen to, really heavy on the groove, but also really heavy on the old school death metal. Definitely check it out. This is an absolutely fantastic debut. Okay, so next up I have Moon Wisdom with Let Water Flow, and this is the debut album from the atmospheric black metal band from Italy. Now this album takes direct inspiration from second wave of black metal, but they've infused it with a lot of black gaze elements, melancholic depth, and really cool punk infused energy. This is a highly addictive album. It's raw, it's dark, sinister, incredibly aggressive and intense, but there's a lot of really cool dynamics to it too. Every single layer, riff, scream or growl has been meticulously placed on this album to create highly memorable and dynamic sound. Not to mention, the melodies in this are soaring, icy, and incredibly addictive. The album itself is 7 tracks long at about 28 minutes altogether, so this is short, sharp, and punchy, and it's going to leave a lasting impression. So if you are a fan of the likes of Stormkeep, Moonlight Sorcery, or Hulder, this one is definitely for you. Definitely check it out. This is an absolutely fantastic debut. Okay, so next up I have Darghia with Systematic Violence, and this is the 9th studio album from the Norwegian black metal band. Now, I featured this band previously on my Submission Spotlight series, where they released 2 different albums at the same time last year, and they are back with their 9th studio album. These guys are an absolute powerhouse of black metal. Not only do they churn out album after album in very quick succession, it's high quality and it's absolutely amazing. This is no nonsense, nothing whimsical about this black metal. It's straight to the point, grab you by the jugular, does not let go, raw, brutal and aggressive black metal. But there's also something quite hypnotic about it as well. There are a lot of melodies underneath that foundation, but those melodies are incredibly harsh and dense. The tremolo in this is ridiculous, the blast beats are insane, and those bass lines are incredibly heavy. But it's the vocal style that really grabbed my attention with this album. It's very primal and it honestly sounds like a demonic possession. It is that evil and powerful sounding. 10 tracks long at about 42 minutes altogether. This just goes straight for the jugular and it does not let go from beginning to end. So if you are a fan of the likes of Mayhem, Gorgoroth or 1349, this one is definitely for you, especially if you like the black metal to be raw, intense, and highly aggressive. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up I have Lucerna Mundi with The Great Darkening, and this is the second studio album from the symphonic black metal project from Canada. This is another solo project, and this one is incredibly dramatic, intense, fiery, and very theatrical. Huge orchestral moments, choir arrangements merged in with brutal and addictive black metal. This is a highly addictive album to listen to, and if you like your black metal to have a lot of symphonic elements, huge swelling orchestration, a rousing atmosphere, but it's also melodically rich, dark, and intense, look no further than this one. Now, at the time of recording this video, this album was not available on Spotify, so it won't be included in my Spotify playlist. However, I have included the band's Bandcamp link below so you can check out the music for yourself. But this is swelling, muscular, a sprawling soundscape of epic proportions, and it's going to take you on a really exciting journey. Now, this album is 7 tracks long at about 40 minutes altogether, and if you followed me for more than 5 minutes, you'll know that I absolutely love my symphonic elements in my black metal, but it has to be well placed. It can't just be thrown in for the sake of it. It has to blend in incredibly well with the black metal, and that is exactly what you get with this. So if you are a fan of the likes of Wraithfire, Nightfall, or Night Crowned, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this out. Epic black metal with a lot of really cool symphonic and choir elements thrown in. Definitely check it out. Okay, so last up on today's list, but certainly by no means least, I have Viserion with Fire and Blood. And this is the EP from the black metal project from New York in the US. This is a Song of Ice and Fire inspired black metal, specifically from the Targaryen era. Now, I absolutely love everything to do with George R.R. Martin's world. I've got all of the finished books. I'm not going to get on to the fact that the main story has not been finished yet. That's a thorn in my paw, but that's a story for another day. But I have all of the finished books. The TV show I have my qualms about, but we're not going to talk about that today either. We're going to focus on this EP before I go on a massive tangent. But anyway, this EP is brilliant. It has a lot of really cool progressive elements and non-standard time signatures throughout, which really perfectly portrays the chaos and the uncertainty of everything to do with the Targaryens. This EP is highly energetic, completely unrelenting, fiery, aggressive, and incredibly brutal. Intense tremolo, rampaging blast beats, and really heavy bass lines. The vocal style is incredibly despairing and powerful. Those screams are again very primal, and they really grab your attention. Black metal at its absolute finest with really harsh passages of melodics. This EP is 5 tracks long at about 23 minutes altogether. It's fiery, it's intense, and it's going to have a huge impact on you. This was absolutely fantastic. So if you are a fan of the likes of Gates of Ishtar, Wormwitch, or Hexablad, this one is definitely for you, but I absolutely love it when bands incorporate a lot of fantasy works into their sound, especially when it comes to the works of George R.R. Martin, Tolkien, Elder Scrolls, that kind of vibe. That is a surefire winner for me from the very get-go, and this was no exception whatsoever. Definitely check it out. And that's it for this week's New Metal Monday. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records. And if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will definitely get them checked out. If you use Spotify, make sure to check out the description box because I have included a Spotify playlist where I update the playlist every single Monday as soon as one of these videos goes live with all the albums that I talk about, unless I have specified that it is a Bandcamp only release. If you want to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. All of my handles are in the description box as well as links to different websites where you can support me and my writing if you are so well inclined. Also, thank you to everybody who reached out to ask if I was feeling better. Yes, I'm still chronically tired, but when am I not? But I am feeling a lot better now, and I'm going to try and catch up with different comments now from the last 2 videos where I was dying. So thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate you all as always, and I will see you very soon in my next video. And today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of Yep. Okay, so next up I have Mariana's Rest with the Yep. Okay, so next up I have Mariana's Rest with the Bereaved, and this is the fifth. I've got hair in my eyeballs.